2020 sucked. It sucked for a lot of reasons, including films. But 2021, hopefully we actually get to see these movies that are scheduled to be released. Some of my honorable mentions I have listed here are Ghostbusters Afterlife, Venom Let There Be Carnage, which honestly it's only on the list because I love Venom and I can't wait to see what they do with Carnage. Hopefully they won't fuck it up. Top Gun Maverick, which it's been so long. Let's see this movie and let's see if it can be fun again. Shang-Chi, The Legend of Ten Rings. I don't know a lot about Shang-Chi, so that's why it's not on the actual list, but I am curious and I do want to see if they can do something with the Mandarin, the real Mandarin. Coming to America, I probably would have this on the actual list if I have seen the original, but I haven't. I know. Dune, another movie that I'm super curious about and I think looks really interesting, but I'm also kind of confused about the trailer. It has the potential to be one of the best, if not the best movie of the year. But let's jump into the actual top 10 most anticipated movies of 2021. Coming in at number 10, Free Guy. It's Ryan Reynolds. Honestly, this film has to be, at the very least, fun, enjoyable, kick-ass action, and Ryan Reynolds being his lovable, goofy, fun self. It's just something to where anytime Ryan Reynolds has a movie, I'm instantly interested. I'm instantly curious. But when I saw this premise and the video game-like atmosphere and just the craziness that it looks like that's going on, I have to watch this. Number 9, Mission Impossible 7. I don't know what this movie's about. I don't have any idea what the plot is or what Tom Cruise could be doing this time around when it comes to the action. I hear that he might be going to space, so I guess that's something. They are shooting 7 and 8 back to back, and that's a good idea because Tom Cruise is getting older, but he's still willing to do what he has to do. Look at how he was yelling at everybody on set for not wearing their goddamn mask. Good on him. I agreed with him there. Fuck yeah, Tom Cruise. Make this movie and make it possible. Save Hollywood like you oh so want to. Number 8, A Quiet Place Part 2. I would have had this higher on the list, but it's one of those disappointing factors that I was supposed to get it almost a whole year ago. And so hopefully at this point it can still live up to that hype and have me not get disappointed by the time I finally do get to see it. The first movie was creepy. It had a good premise. You have John Krasinski back directing it. And Emily Blunt is always likable. Cillian Murphy. Number 7, No Time to Die. This is Daniel Craig's last James Bond film, and that's bittersweet because he's been so good. He's been my favorite James Bond after all these years, but at the same time, you do want to see him get a nice send-off. Yeah, I wonder what they're going to end up doing with the brand new 007, how she's a black female that I think is super cool, and I love to see what the direction of the franchise will go after this point. Number 6, Godzilla vs. King Kong. This is a movie that is a little too epic for me to even truly believe that we're going to get this, right? You have the two biggest monsters ever on screen with Godzilla and King Kong. I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know if we're all just going to lose and we're all going to die as these two destroy everything. But I'm here to see the big spectacle mess that it will be for sure. Number 6, The Suicide Squad. And technically, this is Suicide Squad 2, even though they might not acknowledge the first one, even though they might not want to acknowledge the first one. I fully understand that. I like that we're bringing back some of the characters from the first movie, but we're bringing in so many more. You know that James Gunn is going to direct the hell out of this. This is a guy who made Guardians of the Galaxy work. So if there's somebody that can make the Suicide Squad work, if there's somebody that can take the idea, an idea that I thought was super interesting and highly misfired in the first one, I think that he can do it. I think that we're going to have more fun. I think it's going to be darker. It's already confirmed that it's rated R. Number 4, Mortal Kombat. Look, Mortal Kombat, I love the video games. I've gotten more recently into the last few Mortal Kombat games. And the original movies I was disappointed by. I remember being a kid, I was probably into it, but then when I rewatched it in high school, I thought, oh man, this doesn't hold up. So this time around, they can go for it. This time around, it is going to be rated R. They are going to have fatalities. I'm super curious to see how they tell these stories, if they do a better job than the original movie did as far as explaining these characters, maybe getting into some of their backstories, giving us some kick-ass fight scenes. Coming in at number 3, Black Widow. Natasha Romanoff, Scarlett Johansson, is a character that deserves her own movie. It sucks that she had to get it after her character died in Avengers Endgame, but hey, at least she's finally getting it. I so can't wait to see the story and where they go with it, whether it's some of her backstory or some of the stuff with her sister or having the Taskmaster villain in this. I think that Marvel, obviously they haven't put it on Disney Plus because they know that this movie kicks ass. They know it's worth saving. They know it's worth seeing in the theater, and so that's what keeps my hopes up. That's what keeps me to think this movie better deliver, and we'll just have to wait to see when we can see it. Number 2, Halloween Kills. Another movie that I'm like, oh, I should have seen so much of these films. A lot of these movies were on my most anticipated list of last year, so it's kind of funny to basically regurgitate a lot of them. Halloween Kills, though, I think it's that those 2 teasers that I saw of this movie where you see Jamie Lee Curtis freaking out over the ambulance and fire trucks putting out the fire that was supposed to kill Michael Myers, seeing that other teaser where Michael is indeed back, he is killing some more people, seeing the townspeople get involved in the craziness that will ensue as it looks like the night continues. I can't wait to see what they have planned. I feel like the old Halloween sequels with Michael got too ridiculous, too left field, and these ones are a lot more grounded. We finally got Laurie, Jamie Lee Curtis, back for multiple sequels to plan this story out, to really follow through on Michael Myers and his story the way it always should have been. But for my number 1 most anticipated film of 2021, it's whatever the hell Spider-Man 3 is. I don't know what it's called. It doesn't quite yet have its title yet. There's so many rumors and things that we hear about as far as bringing back Tobey Maguire and bringing back Andrew Garfield. Seeing that we might be getting a live-action Spider-Verse is something that is blowing my mind the more I think about it. All of these past villains and past actors that they're bringing in, it might be a glorious disaster. It might be something to where we say, man, we should have just gone with a more focused story. We should have just gone with maybe Kraven the Hunter, and it's just a solo villain, and Spider-Man on the run since his identity is out there. But clearly they had other plans, and clearly they wanted to go bigger. It's almost as if we're going to get our Avengers Endgame version of Spider-Man with past actors, past storylines. I fully recognize that it's Sony and they could F this all up, but at the same time, Marvel Studios being involved, that's what's having me hold on here. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of not only my list for my most anticipated movies of the year, but what are some of your most anticipated movies? What movies are you looking forward to the most in 2021? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later.